Marotta mornings. Arizona sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Football in the South is very different. There is none of the famous genteel hospitality for visiting teams, only extreme hostility. There is a revelry and a passion that is rarely seen on our side of the country, and into the crucible we go. This weekend, ASU must handle a Saturday night in the SEC where fans bang on industrial-sized cowbells. And then a few hundred miles to the south, the Cardinals must prosper on a Sunday afternoon on the banks of the Mississippi in a stadium where they sing and dance and cause all sorts of commotion. These are crucial games for both of our ambitious football teams, yet both will benefit from the fact that the environments they are entering are harder than the football teams they are facing, and this is where the Cardinals must shine. This is their game. They are the biggest road favorites in the NFL this weekend, which means this is the time to declare themselves as a dark horse contender in 2025. It starts by being all business in a city that loves to party. It starts by unplugging a great crowd by pummeling a bad football team, because that is what good football teams do. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
Sisters and brothers, this is Reverend Satchmo getting ready to beat out this mellow sermon for you. My text this evening is when the saints go marching in. Here come brother.
I didn't know it had the
Satchmo intro.
Spoken word going
how about
in.
it?
Yeah, it is.
Boy, you hear that everywhere on game day in New Orleans.
It's a unique week one, and you pointed it out. I mean, the desert versus the South, with the South being the locale for both ball games, doesn't happen a whole lot.
No, and Kenny Dillingham, I'm sure you saw this. They tried to prepare. They ordered 75 cowbells to kind of recreate what would happen, but the ones that got delivered were tiny.
Oh, I cut it. It's in there.
Yeah, so it was a good idea to try to, but the cowbells that they got delivered were like miniature cowbells.
Yeah. Here was Kenny Dillingham telling that story on Barstool on FS1 yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, we've been blaring them through the speakers.
Okay, there you go.
Funny story, we ordered cowbells. We ordered 75, and we get these little, like, tiny little bells that get delivered. And I go to our ops people, I'm like, are these even clarified as cowbells? But for all we had, so we had these little bells ringing,
right,
but we played them throughout the speaker. I mean, to me, that's a sign of respect that we know the environment we're going into is so loud that we're trying to, be as close as possible to it.
Look, it was going to be loud anyway. Mm-hmm. And Kenny covered it with us when we talked to him in the 7 o'clock hour. Nobody knew what the question was that he was asked. I don't think I've heard the question, quite honestly, that was asked in that press conference. He responded to it. It got back to Starkville because it was all cut up and presented. But because of that, an already raucous environment, and that it's always raucous there, it's going to be more loud. There's going to be some anger behind it. Because if there's one thing you should know about people from the South, is you don't talk about their hotels.
Yeah.
Them's fighting words.
Or their grits. There's a lot of things that are sacred in the South.
Hotels, just off limits.
It's interesting to me because I remember Kyler Murray's rookie season. They played in the Superdome, and Kyler had a real bad game. And the Cardinals got their backsides handed to them, if I remember correctly. And I remember after the game, everything was over, I went back up to the press box to write my column off the game, and I looked down, and there was Drew Brees playing catch with all these children after the game. The game was long over. And I remember tweeting out a picture basically saying, Kyler, this is what real leadership looks like. And so in revisiting that, it occurred to me that midway through his rookie season, there were already some of those growing pains. Like, okay, is this kid capable of being a leader? Is he? It was percolating that early is what I'm trying to say. Kyler's come a long, long way. But if Kyler wants to get where he thinks he's destined to be, you've got to win this game Sunday. You can't go into a football team. You can't go into a game against a team expected to be as bad as the Saints are, lose that game, and have any sort of credibility in the league whatsoever.
I tend to agree with that on the surface, definitely. And the biggest difference between Kyler's first trip to New Orleans, that rookie season, and this year is, I mean, they were playing a Saints team that was much better than them. And Kyler Murray was a rookie quarterback and was not surrounded with the talent, as that season proved, was not surrounded with the talent that the Cardinals needed to win football games. The roles are completely reversed. Yes, the location is the same. It's the Cardinals with the expectations. It's the Cardinals with the superior talent and depth. It's the Cardinals with the beefed-up defense and the experienced quarterback going into this matchup. This is, yes, it's certainly an opportunity to get off on the right foot, but it's also the NFL. And you're talking about a guy in Kellen Moore coaching his first game as a head coach in the league, but is really adept at being a play caller. And look, this is his introduction as the New Orleans Saints head coach. You don't think maybe he wants to pull out some wrinkles to ignite the fan base a bit?
Without a doubt.
That's what you're guarding against in week one more than other weeks.
Yeah.
I do think the Cardinals are the superior team. I do think they will win. And I outlined it earlier. If they can rely on the run game the way I think they should, I think they can win handily. But the Cardinals never make anything easy.
Well, and that would be exactly what I'm saying. You can declare yourselves as a very serious football team by making this the easy part of the Big Easy, right?
Yeah.
All the commotion around you, you walk in and like, whatever, and then you just put a thumping on the Saints. That to me would be big boy football.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. It does start with running the football, and maybe this is week one of an offensive line that is going to be all of that. And I've got real high hopes for that.
Well, and you talked about it in the Blast too, and we've mentioned it this week. The Arizona Cardinals being the biggest road favorite in any week during their existence. That can't have happened very often.
No.
Except if you're talking about the dominant seasons, the division-winning seasons, the Super Bowl. Probably not even that year. Maybe 2015? Maybe it happened a couple times.
Yeah.
I don't know how to research that particular data, but this is, and not that they're concerned about their place as the biggest road favorite in the league, but it's unfamiliar territory.
But you're bringing up a great point, and that is the 2015 and 2016 season, but I think 15 more than 16. When you've got a really, really good football team that can win a playoff game, that might go on a playoff run, you're going to have some blowouts in the course of the season. You're going to have some laughers because that's what really good football teams do. That's what I want to see from the Cardinals, a hint that they are capable of being really good.
Yeah.
You remember some of those games under Bruce Arians that were over by halftime?
Oh, what they did to San Francisco that year
was filthy.
It was over in the first quarter.
Yes, it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
And they were scoring 40 points on the
regularly.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Speaking of which, let's plant this seed.
All right.
There is one team in the NFL that has never scored 50 points in a regular season game.
Oh, who would that be,
It's the
Vinny?
Arizona Cardinals.
Wow.
They have done it in a playoff game.
Okay.
The playoff game when Kurt Warner beat Aaron Rodgers in that unbelievable game at State Farm Stadium. But they've never done it in the regular season.
The Arizona Cardinals or the Cardinals franchise?
Cardinals franchise has never done it.
That's unbelievable in like 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got to remember how bad.
I know.
How long the Cardinals were that bad.
In 3 different cities.
Yeah. It's hard to remember that now because the Cardinals have had 3 division titles since 2008.
Yeah. Just keep that in mind. They got close to 50 last year in the season finale against the 49ers, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
They did. That's right. They scored 47. That's right.
Get greedy. Let's check that box in week 1.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.